and welcome to YMCA Classes for All. My name is Gaelle, or today, again, you'll be calling me Chef Gaelle. I will be showing you guys how to make a Haitian-inspired dish. It's called Pate Kòde, and I love it. In English, you would maybe call it Haitian patty. I know Jamaica has their own types of patties, and then the Latin culture you would call, or depending on what Latin country, you would call it empanadas. But I'll be showing you how to make an inspired Pate Kòde dish. So without further ado, some of the tools and things you'll need. I have my own Haitian type of seasoning. If you are Haitian or if you know Haitian people, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I show you this jar. Actually, this jar has something completely different in it, but like a lot of Caribbean people I know will recycle their jars and put other things in it. So it has green peppers, and mind you, different people use different things. So this is what I put in my Haitian seasoning, which is called épices. It's green peppers, green onions, onion, garlic, and oil. And that's what I put in mine. And some people will go as far as putting some spices in there, but that's what I use for mine. And I put it in most of my cooking dishes because it just has so much flavor in it. But yes, fun fact, Haitian seasoning épices. And then I like a kick in my meal, so I'm gonna use some hot sauce. A lot of Haitian or Caribbean people definitely use this. Maybe I should just stick to Haitian people, but I love using this. But this is what I use for seasoning. It's called chicken flavored bouillon powder. Yes, so that's what I'm going to use as part of my seasoning. You can use what you use at home. I also have a little bit of garlic powder. Actually, in this, there's already garlic, so I might not use this. We'll see what happens. And then, again, I love a kick in my food, so I have some cayenne pepper. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up my veggies. So the way I'm cutting the peppers, we're going to be putting the peppers in the flour dough. So I'm going to try to make it as skinny and small as I can, so it leaves room for me to because I have a lot of different ingredients that I do want to put in my dish. Again, I love colors. I'm a colorful person. I like to separate the colors on the plate, and so it looks all pretty. And before I mix it all up in my pan, it's just, I don't know, it looks pretty. What can I say? Again, if you, if you are a child and you want to cook this, I would say, grab your family. Again, as I said last time, my last video, cook with your family. I think it's, it's part of the fun experience of like learning something new with loved ones. Now I'm gonna cut my red pepper. Something to note about this Haitian inspired dish is that you can repurpose a lot of the stuff in your kitchen doing this dish, like peppers that you're like, oh, maybe I should cook those before they go bad. I know I've so been there, where it's like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't have bought this much of this or whatever, like your veggies. I know I have, I told you specific veggies, but those are the veggies that I enjoy, and I thought it would be yummy to just toss in there. Because typically this Pate Kòde is usually made with meat or seafood. But again, it's like art, you have, different artists doing different things. Maybe they're using the same tools, you know what I'm saying? And they just, you know, they just do something else. You know, you just have fun and put in what you think is yummy, and it'll be great. It can't go wrong from there. It can't get much better than that. You got the orange and the red. All right, and then we have our green pepper, our final pepper. I'm just gonna use all these peppers up. Now, dun dun dun! So, don't judge me in how I decide to cut this onion, y'all. Like to each their own. I'm gonna cut this onion. You know, I wonder if they're like onion glasses out there, just to protect your eyes, like onion, like goggles. Again, I don't want it to be too big because I'm gonna be stuffing many different things in these patties, and I want to leave space and room for all the other yumminess, you know? Sharing is caring. Whew, not crying yet. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I gotta keep on going. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. Like usually in the past, like as a kid, cutting onions, I would just be bawling, but I think, I wouldn't say mastered it, but I've definitely gotten a lot better. All right, so guys, I'm gonna show you my pretty plate. Look at it, guys. So I have my peppers all right here, and I have my onion. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna safely and surely turn on my hot plate, and you are probably using your stovetop, but if you have a hot plate too, hey! And then I'm gonna grab my oil. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil because again, my Haitian épices, my Haitian seasoning already has oil in it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit because I don't want my veggie to burn. I don't want any crunch, if you understand my lingo. So I have like containers on the side because I'm making meat patties, and I'm also making veggie patties. So I like to have a container on the side so I'm not mixing them all up, because I know like people have different preferences in regards to what they eat. They have different diets more like, and so I want to be honoring of that. And so I'm going to be making some veggie patties and some meat patties. So I'm going to do the veggies first, and then we're going to put the meat. So for my meat today, I know some people use hot dogs to put in their Pate Kòde. This dish is inspired by the Haitian Pate Kòde dish. So it's not gonna be exactly the same, if you know what I'm saying, but it is going to be similar. I decided to use chicken, sausage, and it is, I just, for me, hot dogs are like, I'm not that skilled enough yet to have my own seasoning and put hot dogs in there, because hot dogs have a lot of, like, they're very salty. But I felt like I could manage using sausage because I like sausage. So this is pretty hot. Okay, my piece. Sometimes like I forget, like I don't need too much of this, but I just love it so much, and I just put like a whole bunch in it. Ooh, do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Oh, look at that steam. If you guys were here, like, you would smell the yumminess. It's like, I don't even cook yet. Like at home with my roommate, I didn't even put my main ingredients yet. And my roommate is just like, oh wow, it smells good. It makes me feel good, you know? All right, so I'm gonna put some onions in there. I'm gonna put some green pepper, some yellow peppers, and then I'm gonna put some red peppers, and some orange peppers. Granted, I could just dump the whole thing, but like, who knows? Maybe I just need a little bit, you know? So, be wise in how you choose to put your ingredients in there. So I'm gonna let that saute and simmer or whatever you wanna call it. It just looks so pretty, like look at it guys. So to each their own. I know my roommate does not like spicy things too much. Like she likes a kick too, but like her kick and my kick are different because, you know, I guess because I grew up having a lot of spices in my food, like I don't even, you know, taste the amount I put in, but she can. So depending on who's in your household, I would say, you know, be nice and don't put hot spices if someone can't, you know, have it. But if you're all like, you know what, I want some fire, put some hot sauce in, or, you know, spicy peppers in, to your liking. So I'm just gonna put a little bit in. Let me actually use this to taste. Again, for Pate Kòde, the traditional Pate Kòde, they would have pickles, and that's spicy, and they would put it in the Pate Kòde, or they would have it on the side. But I'm not making that today, so I'm just gonna put my little bit of spices in what I already have. This is my father's world. Oh. Put some more of this in. Ooh, I can smell, you know, the hot sauce. So what I'm gonna do when I put the veggies in, because again, we're gonna bake our patties. And so I'm gonna put it in as I'm putting in the other ingredients into the flour dough, because it'll cook then. It doesn't need to be like cooked so many times. It's just my process in that. But however, you know, I am going to like saute these mushrooms because I really want them to have like seasoning. I want seasoning in these because it's gonna taste so good like that. I know I already have some garlic in my ippies, but I'm gonna put a little to taste of my garlic powder, because I feel like garlic makes things just taste so good. That's just my take on things. Hey, what the hey? Who says less is more? I'm just kidding. I put a little by little in. I'm gonna use my ground cayenne pepper to taste. I just use the 2 different types of spices. You guys are probably like, she really likes a kick. I guess I do. And last but not least, I'm gonna use my favorite one of my favorite seasonings. I use a lot of seasonings, but I love flavor. I want to taste everything, and so that's what I'm gonna put in. But you put in the seasoning of your choice, wherever it tastes good to you. is gonna be yummy. Yummy all in your tummy. Tasting the onion. All right, now I'm gonna safely turn off my pan. Or you can't turn off your pan, guys, but you can turn off your stovetop. So since I do not have a stovetop and I do have a hot plate, I'm gonna turn off my hot plate. So I'm using this spoon because I don't necessarily need all the juices in there. The juices are good though. It's gonna be good for when I put in my mushrooms because it still has all those spices and seasonings I used. Now I'm gonna turn back on this, and then I'm gonna add some mushrooms. And a little bit of oil. It doesn't have to be drenched in oil. So you don't want to taste the oil, you want to taste the mushroom. Put a little bit of my cayenne pepper. To quicken the process, I am using what I have, you know, make use of what you have around you in your home. Since I did not bring a lid, I'm gonna use this pan. That's what we're gonna do. Cover it a little bit. And so, grilled chicken strips, guys. I mean, like, if you have leftover chicken or meats in your home, you can use that. Or if you're like, you know what, I don't wanna go through the trouble of cooking meat, you can just use already made or cooked chicken. I know I put a lot of like seasoning in my peppers, onions, and all that stuff, but you could add a little something to this so it can have some flavor too. I want my flavors to be well blended together. So I will probably add some seasoning to it because we just love to season our food. Yes, we do. Oh, it smells so good. I love mushrooms so much. What's your favorite type of veggie? Beautiful color. We're just gonna put it on the side right here. So I'm gonna use this chicken. It's grilled chicken. So I'm gonna cut this a little bit. I'm gonna cook that. And so I'm just collecting juices from all the other things that I had before. I'm gonna put a little bit of cayenne on this too. This is a lot of garlic, but hey, why not? Back at it again with my eppies. I think I hear my mother. Is it seasoned? Do you have your ippies in there? Just some things are just ingrained into you. We have virtual live programming, and so I love to see when kiddos are with their parents in the kitchen or a guardian, and it's a really cool thing to do together. You're making memories and you're creating space for conversation. I think I've had some really deep, meaningful conversations with my parents while cooking in the kitchen, and it was just a safe space, us both doing something that we enjoy. I enjoy eating, my mom enjoys cooking, so it just works out. But I think it for sure created some really good dialogue, and I really had a chance to talk to my mom and see how what her thoughts are on different things and where her heart is, and what she was like when she was younger. Just drill my mother with questions, and what she liked to do, what she didn't like to do, how she met my dad, like just different stuff like that, and just chopping up something or mixing something together. I think it's always really neat. So I hope you are cooking with somebody while making this dish, this Pate Kòde inspired dish. With any dish, I hope you have fun and enjoy doing it with a loved one. It doesn't have to be just, it could be with your friends or cousins, whoever it is. Enjoy your time together, and make beautiful memories. All right, so my chicken, I feel my spidey senses tell me that it's good and seasoned. Now, you don't have to do what I did with my chicken and cook it separately. If you're doing one type of Pate Kòde, then you can for sure just mix all your ingredients together. You do you, boo. So right now, I have the chicken sausage, and what I like about the chicken sausage that I just put into the pan is that it's really seasoned. They did a really good job seasoning the chicken sausage, and it has a nice kick to it. It's not, I wouldn't say very spicy, because my spice level is my tolerance is pretty high when it comes to spice, because #Caribbean life, we love spices. I love spicy food. And so I wanted some of my patties to have that spicy flavor in it. I know I did put a little hot sauce in some of the other things that I've made, but I definitely wanted to have that in the meat, in one of the meats that I had. So now I have my bag of eggs, and it's in every patty, Haitian patty I've seen. By the way, it's called Haitian patty. It's always there's always eggs in it. So what I'm doing right now is I'm rolling it so I can crack it and make it easier. I feel like all the time I try to do something different with the eggs and see if the eggs would crack the way I would like them to, whether it's boiled or not. Of course, these eggs are not raw, these are boiled. But it's always a struggle. So yeah, I just cracked my egg. So I took off the shell. So what I'm doing right now is cutting my eggs and making it as small as I can so that I can fit all the different ingredients that I do have. So I'm cutting it as small as I can, but not too small where it's just what was that? I want it to still kind of look like an egg. I mean, but you know what? You do you. You know, you do what you think is best. But because of the flour I have and the shape of it and how small it is, I'm definitely going to cut them into a good small portion so that I can fit many in one. You know, I'm probably singing there. I sing like all the time. Like, oh my gosh. Like half the time I don't even know it, to be honest. You might think like, oh yeah, right, you don't know. It's true. Like, it's literally like another language, or not even another language. It's just a thought. You know how thoughts just go through your mind? You know, or, you know, you just think out loud for a minute. That's literally me every time. And it just comes out with me singing. I always tell myself, Gaelle, your life should have been a musical. Like, you should have just been created in a world where it was just you sing to speak. But yeah. All right. So I have all my main ingredients up front. I'm going to check on that chicken sausage. That sausage chicken. Yep, sausage takes time to heat up. I want to make sure it's well cooked. That so that, you know, I don't get sick or whoever else eats it doesn't get sick. So I like to make sure that my stuff is just well done. I'm satisfied with what I have. And so now I'm just going to take my knife. And if you are a child, again, I would encourage you to grab your adult and have your adult do this portion for you. You know, we are better together. That's what we talk about in YMCASF. And you know what? You guys are a family. Whoever at home is with you is is your family. So like the song says, we are family. Like grab an adult in the house and have them cut this for you right real quick. So what you need to know about how I'm cutting, just like with the eggs, I'm just cutting it small. Oh my goodness, look at the steam coming from that. It's so hot. I'm cutting it into small pieces so then I can fit more stuff in it, because I have my veggies that I want to put in. I have my eggs that I want to put it in. There's just a lot that goes into the Haitian patty, and so I want to make sure it all fits. So part of that is making sure all my pieces are cut into small little bits, not too small, but good enough. So now you guys check out my chicken sausage all cut up. That's how small you want it. Again, it depends how big your dough is. So my dough is pretty small size, so I'm cutting my pieces extra small. Alrighty, now friends, what I'm doing is I'm cleaning off my cutting board so I can make space for the dough. And what the dough I'm using right now is going to be, why was I doing all that with my hands? What was the reason? The dough I'm using is biscuit dough, and this biscuit dough I'm using is just from your local grocery store. It's so yummy. Actually, any type of biscuit is yummy, to be honest, but that's what I'm using. And so what I have here is my flour. And so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pinch some flour and put that on the bottom, and then I'm gonna because that's where I'm gonna be rolling my my flour dough. That's what I'm gonna be doing. And so as you can see, I'm using a cup. What a cup! I know, because hello, innovation, you know, work with what you have. And so around my cup, I just again put some flour on it so it doesn't stick to my cup, and it actually works, you guys. So if you're like me and did not have a rolling pin and you're like, ain't nobody have time to go out and buy a rolling pin, I just use a cup. It worked fine for me. Of course, I'm sure, you know, a rolling pin would be easier, but you know what? Work with what you have. Be creative. So now it's nice and flat. Of course, I'm being very careful because I do not want any holes to tear it up. I'm gonna grab my fork and I'm gonna start picking and choosing what I want to put in my first patty. So I put some veggies in there, so that's my first thing I put in there. I put some veggies. I'm fixing it and I'm organizing it so that, okay, like I'm being mindful of all the other stuff I want to put in there. All right, so now I'm gonna fold my Haitian patty over. I'm being very careful. This is, take your time. You don't have to rush through this process. Take your time and make sure that all the corners are closed and that you're not tearing a hole in it, because everything will just fall apart. Let me just tell ya, it'll just fall apart. So again, be careful when you're doing this and carefully flip it as you carefully flip it over. So what I just did here is I grabbed some foiled paper and put it on top of my pan to get it ready for the oven. And so I didn't bring a spray, so what I'm going to do is grab some oil and grab a paper towel and dip it into the oil and rub it onto my pan like so that it does not stick. The patties do not stick onto the foiled paper on the pan. So yeah, again, one of my other innovative moments. Well, I guess I'm sure other people do that too, to be honest. Yay! Yes. Okay. Great. Thumbs up. So now, I have my first patty down, and let's keep it rolling. Again, if you've had an empanada ever, you're probably like, this looks familiar. So that's essentially what I'm doing, guys. So I'm just closing it up, I'm sealing it, and I put the design around it because I'm gonna make different types of Haitian patties, and I want to make sure it's easy to tell what Haitian patty that I'm about to have, especially, since I'm going to be sharing it with my colleagues. Yay! Go YMCA colleagues. I want to make sure people know what's in it before they grab onto it, because I know people have different diets. Some people are, vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, whatever it is, or they're allergic to something. And I want to make sure everybody's safe and enjoying it instead of worrying what's inside. All right, this is my last. We're about to do it. So this is my last one. So I basically just piled a whole bunch of stuff in there. This is my everything Haitian patty. Like everything's in there, all the ingredients. And so I put a whole nother biscuit dough on top of the biscuit dough I already have, because I was like, you know what, this is a mountain of food in there, so I want to make sure it doesn't just fall apart. So I'm like, you know what, I have all this biscuit dough left, so I'm just gonna, might as well put another one on top. Why not? To each their own, right? Innovation. That is what I'm talking about. Boom, baby. There you have it. The last Haitian patty. So exciting. All right, now I'm just adjusting. I don't want my patties to stick to one another. So I'm just making sure there's ample amount of space between each of them. And there you have it, folks. The Haitian patties are done, and all you have to do is toss them into the oven. So now your biscuits or Pate Kòde inspired dish can be put in the oven at the temperature of 350 or 400. Mine is at 400, but I'm doing that for speedier cook time. but I'm also looking at it. So you can put it at 350 degrees or 400 for up to 16 to 18 minutes. But of course, like anything else that you cook or bake, please do check it often so your items in your oven do not burn. We do not want that. And then check if it's brown or more like lightly brown. And that's also another way you can know that it is cooked. So yeah, I can't wait to show you guys what we made. Haitian Patties, Pate Kòde. Yes, Gaelle. This was so much fun making with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in making an inspired Pate Kòde dish from my culture in Haiti. I hope you enjoy yours, and I can't wait to see you next time on this channel. Please be sure to check out our live sessions at www.ymcasf.org. We have some awesome things to show you guys, and I also cook there too, so I hope you can check it out. Until then, see you guys next time. Enjoy. Bye.
Did you know that YMCA of San Francisco never closed? When shelter-in-place happened, we could no longer provide in-person programming. We quickly shifted to provide youth and family programming virtually. As early as April, we started providing on-demand activities in our YMCA of San Francisco YouTube channel.
For this video, we're going to be making a geodesic dome.
Today, we're going to be making a hovercraft. The science around this activity is really awesome.
In addition, we have a regular schedule of activities for our youth and families to join live. We feature read-alouds, yoga, family Zumba, arts and crafts, drawing clubs, and more. So don't miss out on our virtual youth and family offerings. Visit www.ymcasf.org for more info and class schedules.